All right, everybody, buckle up and strap in. Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome to Cast Co-op, the podcast in which three podcast hosts from three shows cast together. I am one of your hosts, Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost, joined by the host of the Bitcast from Seasoned Gaming, our big brother and yours, Ainsley Bowden, Portia Power.
What's going on? I'm gaining more siblings now, not just your big brother, but everyone listening.
You're gaining more siblings. You're gaining a longer title. I'm going to see if I can't drag this out as far as possible here. What's up, man?
No, not much, guys. Busy ass week. I'm off tomorrow. Got Village arriving tomorrow. Got some cool game merch this week. So good week, just busy. Looking forward to vegging out with some new games this weekend.
Absolutely. I imagine the toys you got Mass Effect related in some cases and a few others.
Yep, got Doom and Mass Effect bundles in front of me, and I got Resident Evil Village Collector's Edition tomorrow too.
Ooh, is that the house? Is it the house?
No, that was 7. This one is a statue of Chris Redfield.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. Also joining us is the host of the PlayStation Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, Mr. Badbit, Joseph Moran. What's up, buddy?
You know what? I'm tired. I'm drained. It's also been a week for me, Luke. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy to be here, though you said the name of the podcast wrong. I get why you did it. I get it. Yeah. But next time be a little bit, I don't know, professional.
I was being so professional that I was reading your Twitter handle right off the screen. It's real weird. Real weird.
You can't even fix it. Even after he had a big show this week,
Big show.
It just makes more sense with PS being in front. Trophy Room PS. Do you really think that sounds better?
Yeah.
No. A PlayStation podcast, the Trophy Room.
Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast.
PS.
Just look at him dying inside. He's dying inside. He hates it. He hates it so much.
I like PS Trophy Room better. It just sounds better to me now.
You know what? And I love the Vault Boy jokes. These are great. Keep them coming. These are great. Keep them coming.
I got this Mass Effect helmet. Look at that. I'm very excited about it.
Beautiful.
It's a huge helmet, isn't it?
I haven't opened mine yet. It's in the box right on the floor in front of me.
It fits my big dumb fat noggin. Really, I got room in there. You're gonna be bouncing around.
I had a whole intro. Cast Co-op 4 here to talk about all things gaming, including helmets that are arriving from limited run games in the Doom sphere and Mass Effect helmets that fit Joe's big ol' head. Plenty of things to talk about this week. Hey, Joe, did you get a Mass Effect helmet?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh my god, this one's DOA, guys. This one's DOA. Oh, this is great.
Why don't we just start the whole thing over? Yep, very good.
You want to start over for real?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's take these kids on a journey. Let's take these kids on a journey. So, real talk. I ordered the Mass Effect helmet. I'm excited about it. It hasn't arrived yet. Everyone else seems to be getting theirs. General consensus is that the collectors are very happy with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a really good steel book. They got a nice pin. They got some really nice like ironish stainless steel pictures. I don't know. And then the helmet's pretty rad as well. I haven't put like any of the batteries in it. I don't plan to either, but it's nice. It's a good helmet.
Cool. Nice. Cool. And Ains, the collector's edition for the Doom one, right? You got the limited run Doom one?
Yeah, that was the classic Doom bundle with the helmet from original Doom from the 90s. I posted a goofy ass picture of me in it yesterday, but I have Doom Eternals as well. So I'm literally going to have a shelf over there with all 1-to-1 helmets on it because I have Dooms. I have Titanfall 2. I have Fallout. I got a bunch of them, man.
I'm jealous of Titanfall 2.
That helmet's really, really nice.
Anybody that got anything Titanfall, I'm jealous because I love Titanfall, and it has been great to see people kind of rediscovering that game.
Yeah.
But I have posters on my wall behind this camera. I've got the toy version of the statue kind of over my shoulder. That's the only one I could find. I couldn't get the Titanfall 1.
Oh, I have that too.
Figures. Yeah, I figured you would. I tried to find it even on eBay.
It goes for a lot now, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It sure does. And that coincidentally does indeed tie into our topic this week, which is what makes a game's value. And really, we can extend that into what makes anything in gaming valuable or valuable enough for us to spend X amount of dollars on it. I mean, Statues, of course, are a luxury. Legendary editions can be a luxury in many cases. What makes a game's value, makes it worth it for you to purchase? That's a broad question to talk about, and it factors in a lot of different things, from subscription services now providing a lot of value. All the games we just mentioned, Titanfall, Mass Effect, are available in Game Pass right now, in EA Play right now. Doom, as you mentioned, in Game Pass right now. There's a lot of ways that you can access games at this point. Big conversations around what makes a $70 game worth it, what makes a $60 game worth it. There's just so many ways to approach this kind of topic. So when we mention the idea of making a game valuable, what is it? What comes to your mind first?
Let me start by getting something off my chest.
Okay.
If this is some Vault Boy thing, I swear to God, I'm out.
That's later. Game Pass, you mentioned it, right? So
Yeah.
I think Game Pass is changing a lot of the conversation around game value, and we could probably touch more on that, right? Because we all agree it's a fantastic service. It's getting even better, some big game releases. But can people please stop acting like buying a game at full retail price when it releases is some strange thing now? We've been doing this our entire lives. Nothing's changed. There's still plenty of value, which we'll go into more detail on, to be had, and plenty of hours and time and fun and everything else to be had with major releases. It's absurd to think that just because there's a service over here that's giving you a different sort of value, and in some cases a better value, it doesn't mean that you can't go out and buy a damn game at release. That's just a very stupid conversation that I've seen perpetrating its way into the community over the past couple of weeks.
It's a nasty byproduct of what Microsoft wants us to do, which is, hey, is this game in Game Pass, right? But you're right. Like, it started to me with Outriders, right? Like, people are like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna buy Outriders. I don't know if it's worth it. Sometimes everybody loves it. And then you got 30, 40 hours out of it. I got the same amount of time, and I'm ecstatic with it.
But you got a code, Luke. But you got a code.
I did get a code.
Oh, look at that.
I did, but it was in Game Pass also.
Yeah,
so I gotta go a day early.
With you.
You gotta tell people if you get, it's part of the thing.
He's doing his thing, Joe.
Check your spam folder, Joe. Check your spam folder before you start complaining and making jokes.
I actually should.
Yeah, you probably should. You probably got the Resident Evil probably right there, right now, sitting there. But that is a byproduct. That conversation, Ains, is a byproduct of this incredible value that we now get with Game Pass. And I was listening to the most recent Trophy Room in which Joe had Greg Miller on, and congratulations for that. I know that was a big community event. Feel good for you. But we'll get back to our topic. Were you nervous?
Did I sound nervous? Of course I was nervous.
Yeah. First 5 minutes you did, and then you settled in. It was cool. Yeah. But he mentioned, and you guys discussed, the idea that on Game Pass, what Microsoft wants you to do is subscribe to Game Pass for that month to play that one game you want. Beat that game in a week, Ains. And once you're done with your 40 hours in 6 days, look around at Game Pass and think to yourself, oh, you know what? I got this for another few weeks. I'll try this game. And then realize that cyclically happens and that your experience is great because of this small service, because the second game that you get feels free. It feels free. And I think it's that's a very insidious thing, because now my money is traveling so far in subscription service A that when I don't have it on in console ecosystem B, I feel robbed, or I feel devalued, or that something is exorbitant in price. And you can bring in Returnal. You can go round back to the Game Pass discussion. When I say those things or bring up those points, are you tracking it? Do you follow it, or am I off?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a mental issue to overcome. And I think there's probably some validity to the discussion that, the value of a service like Game Pass is going to change the conversation for value in gaming in general, without a doubt. I mean, again, right, we've talked before when talking about Game Pass about other industries and movie and music subscription services, right? So it's this very similar conversation again. It's like if you pay $10 a month for Spotify and you get 2 albums in a month that you truly love from whatever artist you listen to, right? You can mentally justify, well, the $10 pretty much paid for the first album. The second one I'm getting for free. It's just the way you're going to mentally think about it. But I think people need to realize that we're not at a place in the video game industry, and not going to be anytime soon, where there's this conglomerate approach of subscription service will give you all of your gaming needs. That's many years, if ever, away from where we are, right? Game Pass is tremendous value, but there's going to be hundreds of games that aren't going to launch at it that you will buy or do, whatever that you have traditionally done for a very long time. So I just think that it's probably driven a little bit by what we see on Twitter and some of the community, and driven, like you kind of alluded to, in that you're always going to have side over here trying to make it sound worse because side over here doesn't use it, right? Or the platform doesn't use it. But get over yourself. It's just a stupid point. It just is. It's dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb because we are purchasing games. We are giving money in order to get entertainment from the creator of whatever it is. And I just counted while you were speaking. I have 10 subscription services for my entertainment right now across comic books, music, film, movies, and video games. That's 10 subscription services. And I'm in every single case, I was justifying how much it cost to purchase the series I wanted, the movie I wanted, the comic book arc I wanted, the game I wanted, whatever it was. I was constantly justifying it, and I would try to finagle and pull out deals on stuff. But that subscription service idea now in my mind has retrained me to think what I deem to be valuable. And movie tickets are now very different in my mind. $60 and $70 games, very different in my mind. And I'm in a spot now where I'm no longer hungry at the end of the month, budgeting out down to the penny in order to get a game and eat something other than ramen at the end of the month. I'm in that luxurious state. And I'm still justifying to myself how much I'm spending per ecosystem. And I wonder if that's not holding me back from experiences or pushing me forward into others. Joe, you've been quiet on this one, and I saw you counting. What say you there?
Yeah, I got 6 subscription services. It's a lot of stuff, man. And I think Game Pass definitely, to go back on what Ains was saying. Yeah, you have this like somewhat like snobby elitist way of viewing games. At least that's how I look at it. Like, I think Game Pass is great, don't get me wrong, but to think like Resident Evil is coming out and they're like, I don't know, there's $60 for a video game. Well. It's like, get over it, buy it.
As if it's something new. Like, it's not new.
It's not new. And look, I get it. I think us in the States, we're very lucky, fortunate, and spoiled that games have been $60 for 10 plus years, right? Where other places around the world, those games cost way more. Like, Australia
90,
costs,
90, 100,
120. So it's like, okay, I get that. But when I see some just, scummy American complain about, like, when I see one of us complain about it, I'm just like, how is this a foreign concept? Like, look, I bought Returnal for $69.99. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. It should have saves, but that's neither here nor there. I do not regret paying $70 for that game. Not one bit.
But you specifically said, Luke, don't buy this game.
Yes, because it's not a game for you.
Yeah, it's a good game.
For sure. Yeah, and so it to me, I'm just like, yeah, it's an extra $10. Like, I get asked that question sometimes because I know I'm the PlayStation guy in a lot of spheres, and I'm just like, yeah, it's an extra $10. Okay. And a lot of people are like, are you sure you're okay with that? I'm like, guys, it's not a mortgage payment. This is a video game. Yes, I am fine with it. It is $10. It is not the end of the world for me. And it's not a deal breaker. So I think there is this culture around Game Pass that it's always going to be toxic because you get the fanboys in there that kind of generate that type of conversation. But it is something that I agree with Ains. It's pretty annoying because this is not a foreign concept of buying games. It's always something I'm also just cautiously aware or concerned about of when do we get to the point where, and I know it's, people will say this is not the case, but I'm kind of maybe the outlier of when do we get to the point where maybe someone's like, I'll just wait till that game hits Game Pass and just not buy that game, right? Like I have not bought a game on Xbox since Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
It's funny. No, so I take, I don't know if you guys do this. I take notes while people are podcasting. And so I was literally jotting notes about what you were saying. And two things stood out to me. First, I'm curious, gents, or Ain specifically, was this frustration that you're showcasing now, did this come about by way of Resident Evil? Like, is that the one that kind of spurned this?
The conversation I think the discussion I'm referring to general is probably Returnal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was more of a price in ecosystem in a certain ecosystem kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Joe was talking and he said something about Resident Evil being in Game Pass, I've had that thought multiple times. Do I want to spend $60 or wait till it's in Game Pass or play something? And this is really what it was. Play something else that is in Game Pass right now. We've got a lot of stuff on the slate. Mass Effect Trilogy. I still need to finish Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Do I really want to spend $60, $70 on a game like Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Or wait till sale. Wait till Game Pass or whatever it is. And this is where what you called toxic, Joe, that Game Pass conversation, Game Pass mentality. I don't feel as though questioning that is toxic, but I think it could very easily tip over into that category because as much as there is the Xbox group that can be very vitriolic about, well, it's not in Game Pass, we see that same thing on the Sony side about exclusives and Nintendo side about the color red and Mario. I don't know. Buying cardboard, sure. So it throws me off a little bit because I don't think I'm being toxic, but I do think this is a byproduct of that ecosystem because now I'm like, wait, am I going to buy Resident Evil, which is supposedly fantastic, and I do absolutely want it, but I'm hesitant to buy it.
I'll say this. It's not like you going, maybe I'll hold off. It's fine. It's the people that are definitely out there chasing clout, chasing engagement, chasing Twitter impressions. Those like, let me create a little shitty meme about like Game Pass or buying a game at $60 or $70. It's those people. And I share that same thought with you, Luke, is I look at Resident Evil and from what I'm hearing, though it's getting good reviews, really good reviews, I'm like, maybe I'm going to wait because it seems like this one ain't it for me. And that's interesting for me. So like, you're not toxic of like, maybe I wait for it. I think when we think about the value of games, we have to talk about Game Pass because it really has not just changed the conversation of how we talk about games, but it's really changed our thought process and our buying habits as well. Because would you have had this thought like, back in, 2016 when Game Pass wasn't a thing? No,
not in the same way. No.
You'd be like, I think we're going to pick up the new Resident Evil. Let's see what this is all about. And now it's like, well, maybe I wait a few months and maybe it comes to Game Pass. Maybe it comes to PS Now. Who knows? And that's what your line of thinking is. It's interesting.
I didn't really think of PS Now.
I'm just throwing it out there, man.
but it'd be a good pickup for it.
It would. Now. And I think we should probably. We have failed to say so far with the most obvious thing, which is value is subjective. Yes. Everyone is going to value things differently. Everyone makes different amounts of money. Everyone has different things going on in their lives. So, what's $10 to one person is never the same as to someone else. So, yeah, let's just throw that out there, I think, just to make sure that all of this conversation is personal to every individual.
And a fair criticism and also thing to note, like we should be clearly acknowledging that we all do come from such different spaces, not just financially, but in terms of interest and what we're into and like.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, veer away from Resident Evil for a moment. Think about Mass Effect. Mass Effect is Mass Effect. I said that all weird.
Yes,
Legendary
I
Edition.
didn't like it.
Dude.
Came off pretentious.
It bothered
Came off
me when I said it too. That's why I had to stop.
He's probably a Mass Effect 2 weirdo. Anyway,
who would be more upset by better controls? I don't know. And
Right?
So Legendary Edition.
controls better because I don't know what I'm doing in a game. Go ahead. Sorry.
Tell me more about this Mako thing that doesn't work in Mass Effect 1.
You probably can't drive in real life either. I don't know what to tell you. Go continue.
Are you defending the Mako controls?
Of course I am.
I think he is.
You're dying on that hill.
Denial's fantastic. This is
Wow.
This is healthy.
Wow.
This is good.
This is delusion.
At least he was on time this week, Joe. I don't know.
Oh,
Now I'm muting Luke. Hold on.
thank you.
So think about Mass Effect. Mass Effect right now, if you are a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber or if you have EA Play, Mass Effect is $53 if you want to pre-order it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's $7. Should not make or break almost anybody, the majority of gamers that are looking to pick up the game. But for those people who are multi-console, is $7 enough to sway many people one way or another? I'm talking about games value. $7 is $7. Is that enough?
It's a really good question.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about it.
Because EA Play is something I just don't really think about almost ever.
But you have it.
Yeah, I do.
Although EA Play is on PlayStation as well, if you're a separate subscriber.
A good point.
I was going to say,
good point. You're right.
Is it 53 on Xbox because of EA Play?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And look at me, I'm just like, oh, well, look at that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, all EA games are 10% off with EA Play,
good.
which Game Pass Ultimate includes, obviously.
It includes, which ups the value of Game Pass Ultimate, making that like more valuable, as it were. But if you have that 50, is that on PlayStation for EA Play? I would imagine you get the same discount. So maybe my argument's null.
No, you get the same discount if you're on EA Play on PlayStation.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, right? Why are you also subscribing to EA Play on PlayStation?
Yeah,
that's a very good question.
I think when you take a look at like the discounts of like if I'm an EA player or whatever have you, it's more about bringing value to the, like what you just said earlier. It's about bringing value to the service. It's saying, oh, look at this service and you tacking yourself onto it. So like it's kind of like a little thing that they dingle in front of you. It's not like the thing to get you into the door. It's just like one of those bonus things.
Yeah, and let's be honest too. You should be buying physical anyway, so it's not really a big deal.
Well, that's a good question. Why buy physical this day and age?
Is he serious? Are you being serious? I really can't tell if this is a bit. You really do buy physical all the time?
Dude, you should see the helmet he just bought. Yeah, he looks like a physical.
Collectors is different. Collectors is different.
I still buy physical. Yes.
But the game physical, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm a collector, man. A collector's everything, not just helmets. I have a huge shelf of games behind me over here. Why is it? Why have we frozen the podcast? Moving on. I'm sitting there.
You get up to change your discs. Meanwhile, I'm doing that mess like less than 10 years ago. I'll be like happy to get up and get my disc and trade stuff in and stuff. Now I'm like
dealing with again every week.
No, not what you're dealing with. This is the times, man. You're joking and bits aside. You are in the dwindling minority of
you know what's surprising?
A very niche audience.
I generally agree with you, but you know what's surprising? If you look at Nintendo's numbers today, 53% of Switch sales were still physical.
They don't have a digital console, whereas PlayStation and
what are you talking about?
Stick with me. I'm sorry. Stick with me so I can make my point clearly. Series S and PlayStation 5 digital.
Come on, Series S is next to no impact on Xbox's overall sales.
At the moment, this right now, you need to give it a year. You got to get units out there. Switch Lite has a physical slot, doesn't it? Joe, what are we talking about?
You're about to look like a real big dummy.
Yeah.
Doesn't Switch Lite? Yeah, they both have physical slots.
Yeah.
Right.
He said it's not a digital console.
No, he was saying that there's no version of the Switch that doesn't accept cartridges.
Correct. Yes, it was a poorly worded. It was a poorly worded thing, and I apologize for the bad delivery of that.
That's not really the point.
But
think about the PS. You're saying that on Sony, right? The PS5 all digital is like what 0.5% of their ecosystem. I mean, come on,
it's me.
Okay,
it's Joe and like
really
4 other
truly.
people.
Let me finish the thought. Same people that use Central Standard Time, Haynes. But really, right now the units aren't out there. But they set those digital consoles up for the future, to plan for the future. Yeah. They see the digital outcome. So I guess
I'm not arguing that digital is the future. I'm not arguing that. All I said was that I buy physical.
And we're like, you make us sick.
It's just confusing to me.
Here's the thing. Value in games.
Yeah.
So you value your physical media more than digital, right?
You're paying the same thing and getting no physical good for it as me. But
go ahead.
Let me finish the point, guys.
Sure, absolutely.
Nowadays, even most physical games, you can't play just with the disc anyway, right? So it's kind of null and void. It's really just to have that kind of physical presence that people like me grew up with to have on the shelf. That's it. The only other thing that I would add to that is a lot of games, including Resident Evil Village tomorrow, Mass Effect next week, steelbooks. I'm a steelbook collector.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, when you buy physical, you get the steelbook with it for free, which if you buy that by itself is $20 now. So it's like, why would you buy digital and then go spend $20 on a steelbook? You're literally paying $20 extra.
I'm all about that.
I would do that.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm all about the steelbook thing, or if you are a fan of that game or franchise, having something special for it.
The other thing too, and I was joking with someone the other day, and it's not like I'm literally out here eBaying games anymore like I used to when I was younger, but physical games, especially as they become more rare, they become worth a lot of money. Mm-hmm. If you've go look at Nintendo 64 or GameCube games now. One of the guys Nate for Season Gaming, he sold one of the GameCube games the other day for $285.
Jesus.
Game.
It's like Mario Double Dash? What was it?
No, but those games are going for a lot of money. So we're way off topic now, but the point is that if you imagine Switch titles 10 years from now, you have something tangible, whereas your digital goods are absolutely meaningless.
Sure.
That's it.
The only other, I guess, counterpoint I had, and this goes back to value again. I don't think we're as far off topic as it might seem at first. Really and truly, you said you have something tangible that you can keep put on shelf. I'm the other way. I don't want clutter and stuff in the house.
Yeah, a lot of people
pushed me to digital.
Yeah, a lot of people have gotten rid of all their physical stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Save space.
Yeah. That's what I did. I mean, that's what I did with PS4. I was physical, and then I made the jump to digital only with the PS5, and I haven't really looked back because I got no more room, So like to me, I'm only getting, if it's a collector's thing, it is something that is been a part of me. So like Mass Effect, I got some history with it. I love Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 for life, and so like I got that helmet.
See, you're not a man of culture. I mean, that's fine.
If there's a Bloodborne 2, I'm getting that steelbook as well. Like there are exceptions to the rule for sure, but for the most part, I'm digital only.
Yeah. Because
if I go to GameStop and I sell Resident Evil because I beat it or don't like it or whatever, tops I'm gonna get $25. Like that's not a good return on investment for me.
Well, it's better than zero.
But like it's better than nothing mentality. And to me, I'm just like, I'd rather have nothing. Like that's a joke. I'd rather have the convenience of
I think you went digital, honestly, because the PS5 with the disk drive is an ugly motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it's gross. And when you have it's symmetrical, like the digital version.
Yours looks much nicer than mine with its pregnancy bump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's due any week now.
I know. Yeah, I love her. I still love her.
Yeah. You hear they're going to redesign it, and I was not surprised by that one bit. It's like a chip and everything, apparently.
Remember when they first showed the consoles in the first week or two of sales as well? People were like, "I can't wait for the slim version," and it's like, "Yo, let's get more than 6 of these made before we start talking about redesigns and stuff."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to steer us back on,
please.
the biggest conversation I always see when you talk about a game's value that comes up, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, is does the length of the game impact your buying decision, right? If you know it's, I can only speak for myself, right? But like a game like Witcher 3, okay? Mm-hmm. I know that that's 100 plus hours easily at minimum, right? And it's $60. Whereas, I don't know, there's plenty of games out there that are like 6 to 8 hour campaigns, right? Whatever that may be, just pick one. When you look at something like that and you say, okay, this is going to be 8 hours single player and then I'm done with it. Is that worth $60 compared to Witcher 3 or a game where Sea of Thieves, where you're going to play it endlessly, or multiplayer where it's going to play endlessly? Does the length at which you think you're going to play a game impact your value proposition in your mind?
Trey, you go
it
first.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't, man. I think there's some games where. What did you drop, Luke?
My pen. Sorry.
You dropped a pen?
Yeah, it's a Lucasfilm pin. Somebody brought me back from Galaxy's Edge because I've never been.
Oh, lucky. My brother got this fork that's also a spoon. Anyway, I am just saying.
You mean a fork?
No. It's a fancy version. It's a space version. It's a galaxy version. A Star Wars one.
He's like, I got this fork. It's also a spoon.
It's not like it's not what you
something new.
They have those at Bojangles. You went to Galaxy's Edge.
I'll show you the goddamn.
Joe, you can get those at KFC. I hope you know this.
This one's fancy because like the fork stuff is on the side and the spoon stuff is on like it's like.
Oh, shut up! Half. All right, tell me the value of the length of a game or something.
Okay, so anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by that goddamn pen. It depends because you talk about Witcher and some person could look at that and go, oh my god, 100 hours? No thanks. And turn around and buy a Miles Morales, which is like 8 to 10 open world, beautiful, and go, oh, I got something out of it. I was able to beat that game. It was insight and I got everything out of it. Whereas Witcher, you think maybe I missed a few things here. Maybe that is too daunting. Maybe I get a third of the way through like I did. Maybe you get halfway through or almost beat it or whatever, and you put it down because it's a little bit too much. It happens to me with Persona. When people are like, oh yeah, Joe, it's a great game, 120 hours. I'm like, that's an investment. I'm unemployed, but like I don't have that much free time, I think. So
I think
like exactly. I probably do. But nonetheless, like that's way too much. And so I don't think necessarily like if a game is 8 hours, does that mean it's not worth the $60? No, I think it really depends on that individual. And honestly, it is just dependent on who's playing it. I mean, like you take a game like Hades that has dozens of hours of gameplay to it. It's like what, $20-$30 game. I think the one thing that maybe touch on this now or later, but like I like to see devs exploring that scale a little bit more of like, so this game's gonna come out, this one's $20 or this one's $30 or this one's $40 or maybe this one's $70, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's where we get into the mud of how we value games, you know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about what you're saying and the price scale thing I like, and I want to get to that in a minute, but I'm thinking more about this concept of length of a game versus the amount of money I paid. And it goes back to our conversation that we had last week about review scores and what it is that's bringing us to the game, right? Remember we talked about how the score of a game and the different scales that they offer for, masterpiece, fantastic, buy, wait for sale, don't touch it, that kind of stuff. What's bringing me to the game? I'm 100% on board to pay $60, $70 for a Miles Morales experience if that's what I'm being told I'm going to get. Retrospectively, I would have paid $100 for Witcher 3. I would not have paid $100 if I hadn't played it first and didn't know what I was getting. So that number is scary, right? That number is those numbers do get scary, and maybe reviews play a different part in that. And it's funny because I will play like little side scrollers or shooters, like top-down shooters like Skyforge or Xenocrisis or something, twin sticks, I'll play those and get those for like $6-7 during a Games with Gold sale. Weeks deals with gold, and I will play those for 10, 15, 20 hours at a time. I just love those things. Like, I like just silly turn your brain off type games as much as I love my God of Wars, my Mass Effect style games. I'm really looking forward to Biomutant, but Biomutant at 70, sure. If you told me Biomutant was 90 or 100, no, not at all. Not at all. You told me Biomutant was 30. Luke Lore's skeptical about just how good that game's going to be. So that price exploration is a good thing, I think, in theory, but it does have the default, the secondary thing where it might impact what you deem the value of the game to be, or what you think the game is going to be beforehand. Recore is a good example of this. Recore launched at a budget price, deservedly, but then it never was able to recover back once it did things right. Nintendo is a good example of this also in the other direction. They never devalue their games, ever. And people buy them like crazy. And for the most part, those games deliver on quality, but they never go on sale. So there's something to be had there in a conversation also.
Yeah, I think for me, I asked it because I see that come up all the time, right? I see people always saying, well, I'm only going to spend 6 to 8 hours on this, so I'm not paying full price for it. And it's like, I can see that in a way, especially again, if you are someone who is making buying decisions thinking I can buy one game this month, right? And you're only going to get 6 hours out of game X, but you could get 50 hours out of game Y, then that becomes a serious discussion point, I think. But I think what you touched on there is important, right? Like, there's games, for me, it's not so much about the price. It's much more about the franchise, the type of game it is, the experience. And especially if I have some history or love with that game series, right? Or characters. Like, if they came out right now and said, Halo Infinite's launching next month, you can play it a week early for, but this copy, or let's say, bad example. Sorry, let me get back on track because that was going nowhere. Let's say Halo Infinite came out and they just said, forget the reasoning. They just said Halo Infinite is $149.99. Right? I'd be like, sold. I wouldn't even think twice about it, which is dangerous. I don't think we should put that out in the universe. But because it's my favorite franchise. I will play Infinite in any way that I can. I'm going to invest several hundred hours into that game. And so $150 to me for that experience is nothing. I'll pay it all day long. It's the same for like, a good recent example is Little Nightmares 2. I don't know if you guys played that, like those games, anything like that. So Little Nightmares 1 was a really good game. Really good. Little Nightmares 2 is phenomenal. It's like staggeringly good. That's a $30 game. But now, to your point, Luke, if I know what that experience is, even as short as it is, like 6 hours, if they were saying this is a $60 game, I'd pay it without hesitation. Just because of the experience. It's just the experience. Yeah. What does it mean to me?
I'm in for $150 on the next Arkham game or Gotham Knights, as it were. That's the one that would do it for me. I love Batman. I love Arkham games, that style. And I have confidence in Ubisoft Montreal. No, Warner Brothers Montreal. Now I'm panicking in the moment, but I'm confident in that studio. God, goodness, man!
You already spent $150. You're screwed now.
Yeah, I'm in.
You bought digital, so you can't return the damn thing.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll get a steelbook with it. I don't know.
Honestly, I guess I'll answer that question as well. Red Dead 1, and I think I've mentioned this a few times. But like,
if
Red
you
Dead
go
1
to Red Dead 2 right now and try to take a shot at it, I'm warning you.
I'm not going to take a shot at it. But you gave me the bullet, so I might as well. If someone said, Red Dead 1, how much would you pay for that? Like, without a doubt, $300. If you wipe my brain of all those memories, and I can just experience that game as is, yes, please wipe my brain.
$300. That's excessive.
Yes, it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
So that means Red Dead 2 is probably worth like $1,000.
No, how much is it right now? It's going for like $20.
I wish. I looked for it after our last show. Real talk. I looked for it, and it's not on sale right now. But I will get it when it's on sale.
It's too good. It's too good.
Clearance. I think.
Yeah.
You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself.
Let's be honest. Who's the worst, Joe? 39.7%. All right. Again, that's a fake poll. You don't believe it.
Anytime Red
I
Dead
don't
2
believe
comes
it.
up, that's taken over the screen.
All right. What about Vault Boy? Do you have one of those?
I don't know where it went. We did. I'll find it.
I'm sure you're gonna find it.
Keep talking. I'll get one. I'll get one.
Okay.
Find
All
it.
right.
I'll get
Please do. Sorry,
so-
Luke. What was your point you were making?
Well, so voice crack when I said it. Well,
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
you accidentally touched. I hate how appropriate it looks like my face right now too. It looks. It's like right now it's me. Well, I was gonna do a little gear. So all right. So if you said you wipe my memories and let me replay it again, $300 kind of thing. Cool. Really and truly, if there was a system in place where we could earn the achievements all over again, earn the trophies all over again, I would rebuy a lot of the games that I've already played through at full price.
I think we all
At
would.
full price.
Yeah.
But you know what, games value, I already own it, right? I can already go play Arkham Knight. I've beaten it on multiple consoles. If the ability arose for me to play it again on Series SX and have the achievements all over again, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Without it, you're talking about no hesitation. Yes, $70, I'm down. Why? Why am I so happy to do that? I'm scared to buy Resident Evil 8, a game that is going to be wonderful. I'm like, maybe it'll come to Game Pass. Like even Biomutant, which I'm excited about. I'm like, well, maybe. But why am I like down in there for absolute Arkham Knight? Yes, I will do that again. I would not, by the way, pay to earn achievements all over again in Halo Reach, a game I've put quadruple the amount of time into and that I absolutely adore. Statues are over there and everything. But why? That's a single player thing, solo experience, being the character.
Probably a combination of all the above.
Yeah, I think a combination of all the above. Like I think of, and I don't know if you know this, but there's going to be an HBO show about it. I think of Bloodborne all the time. If I could get that, if I can experience, Father Gascoigne just blind, I don't know what I'm going for. Oh my God, that it's the nostalgia factor of experiencing it for the first time. It's kind of like the reason why you always go back to watching a Star Wars. It brings you back to a good time, maybe a better place, maybe a better moment. And that's why it means so much. Because I'd go out there and I'll buy Bloodborne remake. Give me the 4K 60 frames. I don't care if it means they get a Bloodborne 2. Let's do it. Put it in my veins. But
I think you guys are kind of emphasizing the point of the franchise discussion, right? It's like you know what that franchise means to you, and therefore, assuming there's no qualifications, like they gave it to a third-rate developer, or you know what I mean, if it's the same foundation of what you know and love, and there's a new entry in that series, there's really the sky's the limit for what people will pay for that.
I think a good example for me is Gears of War. I love Gears of War. It's one of my favorite franchises. People Can Fly makes Judgment, and I'm like, I didn't even touch it. They're like,
really?
I'm like, yeah, I know that.
It wasn't the same as the main line, but it was.
Didn't we replay through that?
Nope.
Together?
That
was okay. Maybe that was Birdo. We should play through the Gears franchise together. That'd be a fun run through the way we did Halo. What'd you say? What do you say?
Maybe we shouldn't.
I think it'd be fun through. Whatever.
I do Gears. Are all the Gears 4 players? I can't remember.
No, not all of them
for the most part.
One is not.
Yeah.
And then 2 is not. After that, they are.
3 is, right?
3 and so on. Yep. Yeah. 3 and the rest are all 4 player. But, I think it'd be a fun journey there. But I was thinking about multiplayer. Why would I pay so much for Arkham Knight? And you mentioned Bloodborne and Witcher 3 kind of came up in our conversation. Single player experiences. Would you pay $100 to have your favorite online space, Destiny, Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite, whatever it is? Would you pay $100 to play the game? Do you value that? Because I would not pay $100 to play Fortnite.
I would say
spent more than $100 in
what the
Fortnite.
ecosystem is. Like if you're talking about paying $100 to play any of those games as they exist today, where they have season passes and cosmetics and expensive stuff you pay because they're free to play, probably not. But if the conversation's different, you're paying $100 to get in, but then you're getting content monthly or something. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on the game. I would for Halo.
Sure. Sure. And I'm just saying, because I've spent more than $100 in Fortnite, and
you guys are weird, man. You're weird.
Probably about $100 in Sea of Thieves, also. Joe,
Also
I'd
weird.
say, well, over time,
Yeah.
maybe.
What do you mean it's weird? You just bought a Doom helmet the size of 3 helmets.
Yeah, like what are you walking into Harris Teeter with your Doom helmet so you can wear your mask? Be like, look at
Walking
me.
into what?
It's a Harris Teeter. It's a grocery store. Do you have
What
those in? There's like 6 or 7 people in Central Standard Time. You don't have. I tried to pick one that I thought would be famous.
We have bigger grocery stores than whatever the hell you just
Pick
said.
a Whole Foods. Whole Foods, I think, is national.
Harris Teeter's big. It's not small. Really Google
Harris
it. It's not bad. Harris Teeter.
Like
Food
if I
Lion,
said,
I'd have been like, oh,
if
okay.
I said ShopRite, you guys don't know what ShopRite is.
I know what ShopRite is.
No, I don't
Well,
know
I'm from
what
the
that
East
is.
Coast, Joe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ainswood.
So am I.
Yeah, like-
What are you talking about?
So like I don't know what a Harris Cedar or whatever the hell you just said is.
So
Stupid.
Harris Teeter. We're so far off. Really? Okay. I don't know what. All right. Here nor there. Bottom line, buying the helmet or whatever versus playing the game and getting the engagement. That's weird.
Sure.
Yeah. That's all right. You derailed me
Up
so
Harris
hard. Harris
sorry.
Teeter. What?
Is it like
What's-
a Walgreens?
No, it's a
There
full-on...
are no. This is not a joke. There are 19 of them.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all.
I'm
Really,
looking
truly,
at it.
it can't be true.
All right, hold on.
Wait, Luke,
So,
you-
in all seriousness, find your
Yeah.
hair. I'm on the site, Harris Teeter. You put in the zip code. It refers me to North Carolina because I guess that's where the closest one is 700 miles away. But if you scroll through the whole list of all the Harris Teeters, there's 19 of them.
Literally, they just opened store 308.
uh-huh.
I don't
We're
believe.
looking at TV. Okay, this is the most dumb thing. Okay, hey, internet, people who are not trying to do a podcast while they're listening to this, can you look this up for us? It's big here. I guess it just surprises me. I've seen them.
Yeah,
in
all
multiple
of these are in
states.
North
Team's
Carolina.
big. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe it's like there's one owner, but like several different
Sure.
stores. You know what I mean? It's
The
under
thing
one umbrella.
I can tell
I
you-
chose that one because it's a very nice grocery store. It's not like a
Ah,
cheap. It's a very nice one.
so
I'll
like
tell
it's
you
like
that
a
this
Wawa
conversation's
compared to
value
some-
is not very high right now.
Are you
God.
kidding me? I'm into this one. This is
This is the one.
good.
This is
it.
the one.
I'm feeling it. All right, Luke, go on. What was your point?
Oh goodness,
Go
I don't
for it.
remember that. Whatever the point was, it's gone.
230. They have 230 stores.
That's great. They're 50 states.
Don't assume.
Anyway, Jesus Christ.
7 states,
This
Joe.
podcasting's right here.
No, they're in 7 states.
That's big.
Talk-
200 some odd
about
stores
like
out of
this is a
7
supermarket
states.
chain to rule the world. 7
Mhm.
states.
7 states. And let me guess, they're like all like, below the Mason-Dixon line. So like
Tell you
who
what.
really cares?
How is this the hill that you guys have somehow put me on to die?
I
I'm
don't
not
know why
trying-
I'm walking into a store that barely exists with a Doom helmet on.
208 locations for you to wear your Doom helmet at, sir.
I just picture Ains in a produce section with the helmet on and just heavy metal like dun 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 dun, dun and just putting bananas in a plastic bag.
I have absolutely gone to a drive-through with my Master Chief helmet on. That's a real thing.
I don't doubt
God
this.
bless. That
at
was
all.
something you should have kept to yourself.
No. It was for part of those videos I was doing for Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, about wear your mask and stuff. They're gone. Yeah. You'll see it eventually once Halo Infinite
you're-
starts to come out.
So what you're saying is you're proud of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for Halo Infinite, man.
Okay.
$150 excited?
$150 Mega Construct set over there that I haven't built yet. That's the Pelican, and then over there I got the turret. Yep. I spent a lot on.
Here's the
Halo
thing,
stuff.
though. I heard
7 states.
It's 230 stores and 14 fuel centers. Why are you upset right now? What a weird
14
thing to
fuel
get
centers in 7 states. Hopefully,
What
you'll
a
make it
weird
to the
thing to
next
get
one.
hung up on. How is this what you're hung up? Well, all these things we've talked about. That's what you're hung up on.
Yeah.
I'm not hung up. I just found the example utterly hilarious. Like, out of all the nationwide
All
things
the-
you could have said, you
A
say something that
Walgreens,
nobody
a
listening will
CVS,
know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Walking into a Starbucks. Is that better? Is that
Better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. They have shitty coffee, but whatever. It's fine.
Sure. I get it.
All right.
Anyway, but I heard PlayStation's going out of business now.
Well, okay. So that's this. Thank God you're getting me out of this topic. Thank you.
Segue.
If we're ever gonna cut something, that was it. Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo had numbers released over the past like 2 weeks or so, and every Nintendo creator, Xbox content creator, PlayStation podcast content creator, whatever it is, had good things to talk about for their brand. And I thought that was awesome. Awesome. I mean, I was listening to the Trophy Room and the numbers that you guys were spitting out on your latest episode for how well Sony's doing and how many games are going per second. Incredible mathematic breakdown. Even if it doesn't work out perfectly, it was just brilliant. Xbox is making bank money right now, despite selling consoles at a loss. Thanks to Epic and Apple, we're finding out all these ways that different companies are setting themselves up to make money off of gaming. And Nintendo is selling Labos like crazy, which is really cool. Switch is, genuinely, joking aside, Switch is just on this ungodly sales rate right now, and it's just it's awesome. I really, what a very cool time to be a gamer and to get to be a cross console gamer. And we talk about value of games. My value of a game will shift depending upon the ecosystem I'm talking about. All the while, those ecosystems, all of them are thriving in their own methodologies.
Yeah, I think, and the weird thing is, right, is that this is not new. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo have been breaking their own records for a couple fiscal quarters now. So I find that interesting that as healthy as the gaming industry is and as fast as it's growing exponentially. And these big three, as we call them, are all doing kind of their own thing in their own way and all doing it very successfully. That's, I always find the conversations, as you guys know, we all do, right, about any of them really struggling because it's literally the direct opposite. All three of them are breaking their own revenue records quarter over quarter. I got PlayStation numbers in front of me. The one thing I really wanted to call out, both for PlayStation and for Xbox, is people I don't think yet realize how much of their revenue is due to services, DLC, and microtransactions. And people on the Xbox side, it's huge because Game Pass is driving that, and all the conversations we've had, it's a big percentage. We already know that. But people, and you, Joe, you probably know this better than ever. I see a lot of people talking about, well, PlayStation's a little older. They're still focused on selling consoles, selling copies of games. 69% of their revenue, more than 2/3, comes from network services of PlayStation. And 50% of that 70% or so is straight DLC and microtransactions. So if you kind of do the math there, right, you're at 9 billion. Almost a third of PlayStation's revenue is straight just DLC and microtransactions.
That's how you know they're dead, you know?
It's crazy though when you think about that, because when I think about PlayStation, from my perspective, I'm thinking single player. And that's my perspective. Obviously, I play with Joe on tons of crossplay games. He's multiplayer, obviously. But
sorry about that.
I think about playing with Joe. It's rough. I hate that he's good at a lot of the PvP. Yeah, he carries the group a lot of PvP.
Talk about the Fortnite thing that I did. 8 kills in under 2 minutes. Saved the day.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So that's like, if you add the age up of all 8 of those people, is like in their 40s.
Yeah, and I kicked the crap out of them. You know,
I haven't beat up a 12-year-old since I was 25, Ains. Okay, calm down. But when I think about PlayStation, I'm thinking about single player stuff.
Yeah,
almost exclusively. Yeah. I'm thinking Horizon. I'm thinking Spider-Man. I'm thinking God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm not thinking about all the other monies that you can spend kind of around there and with that, which is really cool for PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Really cool for them.
I think people underestimate, especially on PlayStation, given their install base and their global presence, right? They underestimate how many people that own PlayStations that play Fortnite and Call of Duty and Rocket League and, Roblox. That's where these huge masses of revenue come from. It's just a fact.
I mean, take a look at the Apple v Epic stuff. Yeah. We thought for the longest time it had to be mobile. Mobile had to be the thing that was feeding the Fortnite machine. Almost half of, what is it, like a weird, like 40-something%, I think 46, if I'm not mistaken, it comes straight from PlayStation. Like they are making bank on that ecosystem. And I think part of it has to do with the blockbusters get you in the door, your Last of Us Ghost, your whatever, gets you there. And then once you're in that ecosystem, you're like, oh, I'll buy Call of Duty here. I'll buy, I'll get Fortnite on here. That's what I do. I'm like, I'm part of this ecosystem. I like my trophies. I like the controller. I'm just going to stay here and play Xbox when I have to, or there's a Game Pass game or whatever. That's when I'm using it. But if it's like PlayStation stuff, yeah, it's here. There's this weird energy about like PlayStation gamers who play online thinking like we're all dog shit. But like in actuality, we're probably the majority of people that are on that thing because there's just so many PlayStations out there.
Sure.
I think that's a carryover stereotype from early Xbox Live PSN days.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the case. The thing that impresses me is like we talk about, oh man, value of games, right? $60-$70. Who's doing that? PlayStation 4, the last generation, sold more games than any console in history, including the PS2. So a lot of people are like us who are out there buying games at day one or not, or waiting or buying it on sale or whatever have you. Like people are still purchasing their games. It's still something that is normal. I was going to say encouraged. That's normal. I think we kind of get lost in the moment of what PlayStation's doing or not doing this week sometimes, where when you take a look at the numbers, it shows PlayStation's in a really good place. And they have been, like Aiden says, for a really long time now.
Yeah, so, I mean, their fiscal year revenue is the highest it's ever been. Same with Xbox. Nintendo's actually as high as 2009 when the Wii was at peak. Nice. So they're right there. But PlayStation and Xbox both have had record fiscal years. In fact, PlayStation pretty much decimated their prior record. Their prior record was 2019, so 2 years ago, and they beat that by like $2 billion. So they did $24.4 billion, the highest fiscal year revenue of any console in history.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean they're just crazy.
So you give them like 4 or 5 years until they're dead? It's like 4 or 5. I don't know.
I'm anxious for a couple things though. In hearing all of this and hearing Joe describe what he thinks really got people in, like they go for Last of Us, stay for the extra stuff too, right? That's literally what Microsoft's game plan is with Game Pass.
Yes.
Once they get churning out top tier content, you go for your Starfield or whatever, your Hellblade 2, whatever it is, once you've had that experience, you stay for all the others. That's why they're buying up and putting together studios to crank out something every quarter.
It's the Stranger Things effect. You get people into Netflix with Stranger Things. It became a worldwide phenomenon. And then once you're subscribed, you say, oh my God, look at all this other stuff I can watch. And then you're a Netflix subscriber. That's it.
And I think what gets people to flock to your system is top tier stuff. And that's where Microsoft's missing the mark. And that's what Nintendo has done well. Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart when they first launched. I know we talk about Breath of the Wild. I'm not saying, but in its time.
Yes.
Right? Like just flagship stuff. And then people go there for that experience. You go to Disney World so that you can ride Space Mountain, or I guess now it's Galaxy's Edge that brings people there or whatnot. You go for that thing.
Yep.
And then you do everything else too.
Yep. You go for the space sport. You stay for the rides at Galaxy's Edge.
So Halo Infinite is going to have part of that effect, right?
If it's good,
stop it.
If it's good,
I don't know that one guy that left. And
one guy left the team at 900. They are screwed.
I did
guys.
see. I heard about that on Reddit, Joe. Did you? That guy, he wasn't happy with that.
Jason Schreier's going to write a story, and then he's going to block me immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
God, I hope they name the brute. I hope they name him Doug instead. Just to mess with everybody. Like, here's Doug. Craig's dead. We killed him.
But Halo Infinite, like, people underestimate. I talked to Benji about this because he's into the analytics and stuff, and he was talking a little bit around. People are severely underestimating Halo's impact right now. Like, everything around it from an analytical standpoint, Google Trends is just exploding. And, when people realize that, multiplayer's free, but everyone wants to play as Chief. I mean, come on. Everyone wants to play as Chief. There's just millions and millions and millions of people that want to do that and see the grandeur of his return. And you can do that. That's going to get people in the Game Pass. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Game Pass is already growing, like we talked about before, at this really fast rate. When those big titles start to hit, it's going to be crazy to see. But I think to bring us right back to where you're talking about with PlayStation and the network services, one thing we didn't touch on in game value is we talk a lot around $70 games, $60 games, whatever, a new game price. But you see other people like you guys, and I'm not making fun of you guys or poking because I do it for other games, but like, you'll talk about a value of a game for $60, right? And whether you get however much time out of it or whatever, but you'll very quickly go and buy 2 skins in Fortnite that'll cost you $50, which don't really do anything to change your experience in that game. It's a nicety. You're not getting a new game. You're not getting a new experience.
Sure.
But I'm getting to play as Aloy. I'm getting to play as, the Master Chief.
And I think that goes all the way back to our conversation of if it's a franchise that's meaningful to you, you're willing to do it. Kratos, right? Kratos will bring people in. You buy the skin. Chief's the same way. Ripley, what have you. I think that's really interesting to think about, that people from a mental state, again, can qualify a $60 new release game that will potentially give you an experience you'll remember, and or something worth hours and hours of time, or even tens of hours of time, and qualify that, but very quickly go out and spend 20, 40, $60, whatever, or more on stuff within a game that doesn't fundamentally change their experience or give them anything new.
You nailed it, though, when you described why someone like me is purchasing stuff in a game like Fortnite. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth when I think about buying an original Fortnite character. Really and truly. I'm like, I could not care less. But the idea of getting to play out my childhood action figure fantasies, having Kratos hang out with Aloy, or the equivalent of that, being Daredevil playing next to Batman, those things are really fun to me, and I will buy anything DC in that thing, because I just love DC Comics. That's what it means to me. And there's several elements of purchaser here. People like me are going to do that. Other people, I say kids, but that's not a fair statement to say, but a lot of people I think would buy original Fortnite content. It's the connection you have to the franchise that you're involved in. And in the absence of another Horizon game at the moment, Joe's getting to continue with the character that he loves in Aloy. And that there's something to that also. And you are absolutely apt and on point to make that comparison, because it's a free to play game, and I've spent over $100 in it, and I do not feel bad about any of it.
Like I said, I'm not trying to poke fun at you guys.
No. But I've had buyer's remorse in other cases. That's why I'm saying that, names. I'm sorry. I did not feel attacked at all. But I have buyer's remorse on so many games that I've bought at full price, and none with a game like Fortnite or Sea of Thieves also, right? Because
it's content you already know you enjoy, or you're attached to, and so you're just furthering that enjoyment. Right. I am I don't think I've ever talked about this with you guys, but I play a lot of World of Tanks on PC.
Really?
Yes.
And you make fun of us for Fortnite.
Yeah, you're a nerd. Okay.
You don't want to have that battle.
Do you have a World of Tanks chair too?
They haven't sent me one yet, but when they do,
darling, honey bun, you take that picture and you put it on.
Then I'll write a review and give it a 10.
There you go.
No. So I've played World of Tanks on PC for about 8 years, maybe.
Really?
Okay, too long. Continue.
Yeah, game's been out it's going on 11 years now.
Wow.
And its population in the U.S. is a little lower, but in Europe and especially like Russia and Eastern Europe, it's massive. It's one of the most played games in the world. You might not know that. But anyway, the point I was making is it's very easy to spend a lot of money in that game. It's free to play, but it's set up so that there's premium tanks you can buy, which obviously are very cool. And there's just a ton of stuff you can spend money on. And when I look back over the game in the 8 years, and it's 8 years, so let's quantify that. But still, I've easily spent, the last time I thought about it, probably 400 plus. So
for 8 years of enjoyment.
Yeah, and I don't play it consistently. It's one of those games I go in and out of, right? Like last year, I got really big into it again. I played it every day for like 6 months. And then I put it down, I don't know, third quarter last year, and I haven't played it once since. But I know I'll pick it up again in the future. But the point being is that I know I love that game. It's one of the craziest and most in-depth competitive multiplayer games I've ever played. It's a very, very specific type of game, and I love it. And I've loved it for a long time. And I don't really think that much when I'll spend $60 literally on a tank, one tank. Spend $60 on a tank.
Whoa. Are these tanks like, do they do something like gameplay wise? Is it like, kind of broken
yes and no. So it's a very highly competitive game. And so it's hard to explain. I don't want to bore the podcast with it, but
I'm interested.
Yeah, it's not like you can buy a tank and it's instantly better than everyone else's free tank, because that wouldn't work, right? That would break.
The listeners left during Harris Teeter. Okay, you're good.
No, they stuck around.
But there are unique advantages to having what they call premium tanks, right? Like you get XP faster for your crew. Like you have to level up your crew who are in the tank and they get skills and stuff, right? You get XP faster if you're in a premium tank. So stuff like that, right? And some of them, of course, they make some of the premium tanks fun to play. It's like, well, this one looks really cool, but there's tanks in that game, no joke, that are like $80.
Jesus.
People buy them all day long.
Number one game of the Russian Federation.
There's people that have garages. People will sell.
I broadcast that as the selling point.
People will sell their World of Tanks account depending on what tanks they own, because there's a lot of premium tanks you can't buy anymore. They go away and you can't get them. And so people have sold their World of Tanks accounts for $1,000 plus. I mean, thousands of dollars.
This is giving me old World of Warcraft vibes.
Very similar. Yes.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, there's a whole culture and community around it. But the whole point of that was to say that I think that when you're already invested in, whether it be an ecosystem like that or a game or something you enjoy, you play with friends as you guys do consistently, you're much more willing to drop more money on it because, one, you already know you enjoy it. And two, you kind of also know it's going to get used. Like when you buy a new game for $60, if you're questionable on it, right? It's not one of those franchises you adore. There's that possibility, and we've all had it, where you buy that game, you play it for a few hours, and you're like, this isn't doing anything for me. And now you've just spent $60 for a couple hours that you never touch again. You know what I mean? Whereas you could have had 3 characters that you really enjoy in a game that you play every day.
It's a good comparison. That is a really good way to break down, I think, why we're comfortable spending money in certain ecosystems, and what we value in that game and the experience in that game. Fortnite gives me a way to play Batman right now. There's no other Batman stuff or Star Wars or whatever it is, and like World of Tanks is giving you endless enjoyment in a world that you love. And I'm thinking about Titanfall 2 right now, which I love that game. I
need to get in on that with you, by the way.
Absolutely, man. And I'm excited because I'm legitimately really good at it, which is kind of cool to still be good at it.
Joe's questioning your statement.
Joking aside, Joe, I think we can comfortably say I do quite well.
10th prestige is what he says.
11th.
Oh, he's corrected you. He's corrected you quickly.
Whoa, we got a badass on the list.
But in playing that, I'm sitting here thinking like, my gosh, and like I'm looking at these prime Titans in there that you do nothing, and nobody would even know that they're
right?
special. Yeah, skins.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want that. I want that. Why? It's like dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
But it brings me so much joy to know that booting up Sea of Thieves, Fortnite, Titanfall 2, or any of my regulars, and having that thing,
Sure,
it makes my enjoyment of the thing I already love that much better. Whereas I'm still not sure if I would like Returnal at 70, but would I love it at 30? Maybe so. Yeah. And the joy. I mean, yeah. I'm just excited about that. And coincidentally, it brings us kind of to a question in the reverse sense that Dano asked us about a game other than Master Chief Collection that we regretted buying. Now, let's take a moment and just pause. Dano's awesome, right? He writes into everything and is so supportive.
Yeah.
So appreciative of him. But gents, games you regretted buying. Not Master Chief Collection. And of note, let me know if you went back to them and it got better. And I'm thinking about Master Chief Collection as a good example for that because the game's way better now.
The game was broken as hell at launch. But again, remember we were talking about experiences and how that can define your mental value of a game. Master Chief Collection, I had a good buddy who I'm sadly not friends with anymore, but I had a good buddy who played Halo with a lot. And this was back when, Reach was big and going into that era, Halo 4 competitive. And then Master Chief Collection came out, and him and I played through the entire collection, beginning to end on Legendary, all the campaigns. And we wanted to do it in like a string, and we did that. And we did a bunch of the crazy ass challenges along the way, like beating a library without dying, which don't ever try and do that because it's ridiculous.
On Legendary?
Yes. Without dying. And any of the flood that jump around that entire level can kill you in one hit at any time. So it took us 7 hours.
That would be my personal hell. That would be my personal hell.
Took us 7 hours.
I thought we did that, Joe. Did we not do that one?
No, we didn't do it in Legendary.
Oh, okay.
No.
Anyway, point being is that experience I still cherish because going through all those campaigns with a good buddy, right at launch, we managed to do that despite the brokenness. So I don't regret buying that. I do have one. I regret buying, not regret, because I don't regret really buying any games, honestly, whether or not I play them a lot at all. But one that I found interesting, which I know, Luke, this is going to surprise you in particular, is Hitman 3.
Really?
So I bought Hitman 3. I'm not a Hitman fan, so that goes back to what we were talking about, right? The franchise doesn't mean anything to me. Right. I bought it because of the great reviews, and Dan loves it. Dan is a huge Hitman guy. And he was recommending it, and you were recommending it, and a bunch of people were recommending it. So I bought it. And I played through it. I beat the 6 missions. I did a couple of the side things you can do. I really, really enjoyed the one that was designed after like Knives Out, the mansion one.
Yeah.
So good.
That was fantastic. And I kind of cherished the game for that experience. But I got maybe 8 hours out of that game and nothing really too memorable for me. I didn't feel like going back to it. I'm not one who's like, okay, I'm now going to complete this level in this way, and then I'm going to do this. And that just doesn't really interest me. So I played that game for like less than a week, beat the 6 levels, and I have not played it since.
Wow.
And here I am. I love that game so much. I went back to 1, beat it, went to 2, beat it, then went back to 3 and platted it.
Nice. I know Dan's up there. 3. Dan has like 100+ hours in those games. So I know he's up there with you.
Yeah, I have over 163.
I went back and did 1 and 2.
You did the same thing? Yeah.
No, I went back and did 1 and 2 and then never finished 3.
Oh,
dude, go back and beat 3. What are you doing with your life?
I do that to myself sometimes. Is I start a franchise, I play through all of 1, all of 2, partway through 3. I did not. Right now, I'm on Shadow of the Tomb Raider because I just did 1 and 2. Right? Sometimes I burn through very quickly.
Sure.
Random side note: I hear Shadow of the Tomb Raider with the new FPS boost is freaking incredible on Series X.
I'm so excited and so upset that Mass Effect's next week because I'm probably going to start Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The Resident Evil really and truly might not happen because Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I'll just play Resident Evil later because I'm not dying to play that game right now.
Gotcha.
Bad choice of words there.
But anyway, that's my most recent game I could think of as a reference. What about you guys?
So I went through. I was scrolling achievements while you were talking. So if I was looking down and seemed to be rude,
yeah, it's fine. Just ignore me. Whatever. Don't matter.
Huh?
I'm sure Joe will repeat whatever you say in a second. You know?
He probably will, like verbatim. That's a deep cut for episode 1 there. Colonial Marines, I spent $4 on eBay to try it out. That was a regret. I don't know if that counts. I really wanted to see what it was like.
Here I was going to search for the game that I regret buying. And I'm like, where is it on my list? Who got it? First game.
Oh, you bought
Randy
that full
Pitchford.
price?
Did you buy it full price?
Yeah, me and my brother were so in on this game.
Because that's not my actual choice, just for the record. But yeah, keep going.
Okay, but we're like, oh yeah, we'll go 30 and 30 on it. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, no.
This is gonna be great. It's Alien Colonial Marines. How could this go? Whoa, Randy Pitchford owes me $60 and 2 hours I will never get back again.
He doesn't think he does.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the magic trick.
A magic trick for you, Randy. What's behind this finger? You know?
What's behind this finger?
Many of which I don't know. I'm tired.
I spent $5 on that game and it was a ripoff.
I was hyped
60.
about that game in the early lead up, and then if you really read into development and some of the stuff that was leading up to its launch, it's like, oh, this has red flags all over it.
The new Aliens game, though,
looks good. Looks real good.
Oh, the three of us cast co-op. We should play that together.
We should stream that. Cast co-op Aliens Fire.
Actually, I'm gonna be busy that day. Hey, Ames, I'm not gonna be busy that day. No, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I think we should do it. What's that?
Huh?
You want to fight?
You want to catch his hands? Catch his hands? I'll fight like Batman. Batman Begins. Hold on.
I hate him so much.
Borderlands 3 was a good example for a recent big title. Wow. Borderlands 3.
Okay.
Really? See, that hits for me like Hitman hit for you.
Here's the thing. Somebody gave me money to buy it, and I still felt ripped off. I was like, this is not fun.
So I take it then that you're not a big Borderlands guy.
That'd be incorrect. I played Borderlands 2 on 360, on my Vita, on my PS4, and on my Xbox One. Love Borderlands 2. Played Borderlands 1 on my Xbox One. Tales from the Borderlands, fantastic. Didn't do pre-sequel because I did what I do where I burn myself out by playing it back to back kind of stuff. Yeah. And Borderlands 2, I just played the heck out of. I started up Borderlands 3, and again, this goes back to being the state of mind that we're in when we play a game, which often fails me in different things. But I just couldn't have cared less about its stupid humor, dumb stuff. I was thinking to myself the whole time, grow up. And I'm the guy that loves fart jokes and enjoys silly stuff like that. And I knew I bought a Borderlands game. Yeah. Why was I upset with Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
It's just where I was at the time.
They did take it a little too much. Like the antagonist, Handsome Jack is still far and away the best antagonist for sure. But Borderlands 3 is still between the weapon design and the gameplay and everything, it's really good, man.
Would have rather enjoyed by far my time with Outriders.
Now you've gone too far. Okay.
It's just a matter of feeling and looking cool.
Yeah.
Really
sorry.
Well, then what are you talking about Outriders for?
I'm with Luke on this one. Borderlands, after that single player, I was like, and I'm out. Same with Outriders, but I feel like I've poured more hours into Outriders than I did Borderlands. Borderlands, for me, the weapon variety wasn't enough to keep up with the very mundane level design. It just didn't do it for me. And I'm just going off memory. And I'm just and this isn't that funny. I don't get it. The villains are just obnoxious.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan for sure.
Did you see that your boy Randy Pitchford teased Borderlands 4 today?
I did see that. He teased Borderlands 4, and God knows Gearbox needs something. So good luck to him. Because for all intents and purposes, everybody that's playing Borderlands 3 swears by it, says it's the best one in the series, and the DLC is great. This
DLC is very good. Yeah,
I constantly hear good things about it.
Yeah, I'm still playing through it, but I think Borderlands 2 is still the GOAT. But
is it?
Once you get used to playing Borderlands 3 with the slide and the clamber, and it's just much smoother in terms of modern combat, it's hard to go back to 2.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I
I'm
enjoyed
downloading
1 and 2 a
Titanfall
lot.
2 on my PS5 right now.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right, I'll
just
install,
on it.
I'll install it as well. Damn it.
We've been playing on
Yeah.
Xbox, right, Joe?
Yes.
Is it crossplay?
No,
It's
unfortunately,
probably not
but I will play that on PS5 because that's actually a game I played on Xbox.
Ains,
I remember that.
I'm sure in your given your champagne taste, you have an OLED TV.
Champagne tastes. Am I that guy now?
Yeah,
yes,
you bought
I
a
do.
Doom helmet to walk around Harris Teeter with. So yeah,
So
I hate this guy.
Not that I like reaffirming your thought, but yes, I've had OLED since 2016.
right. FPS boost
Yeah.
on Titanfall 2.
My
It's
OLED
nuts.
does not support 120 yet. I'm upgrading later this year. So yeah, I'm
Ains,
waiting for the G1. Have you seen? We're going to change the topic. Have you seen the 2021 G1?
No, it took me 10 years to save up for this one. I'm not looking at anything else.
Dude, the new top end LG G1 is literally they call it the art one because it's like that, and it is so small. You hang it on your wall like a picture, and the frame, the mount is already built into the frame. You literally go like this and put it on the wall like a picture.
I saved for 10 years and got a stimulus check to pay for that thing. So that's it for a while. But anywho, frame.
How many Biden bucks is that? Because I got 8 Biden bucks.
This was a lot. FPS boost changed in a way that I didn't expect it to. Honestly, I thought that was a dumb gimmick. Blast processing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I couldn't believe it. And you can't explain it to somebody because if they don't have the screen to show it, it doesn't work. I remember it's like when you for the first time saw an HD TV. Nobody can tell you that it looks better until you see it and you're like, oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
else?
nuts. Like that's why I replayed Prey, because Prey was always 30 frames on console.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally replaying it with auto HDR and FPS boost. It's a new game. It literally runs better than my PC version. Runs and looks better than the PC version.
That's so cool.
With just technology that's completely free.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
It's awesome.
You ever before I go to our next
wait, I got one. I got a code.
No, that's cool. Just interrupt me. Just go ahead and interrupt me.
I got a code for Marvel's Avengers. And I wish I could give it back. That game's bad.
I want to make fun of you for the code thing, but it's good. That's a good joke.
It's so bad.
It's not bad. It's boring.
No, it's bad.
Bad games don't work. It works. It's just not fun. Let's not go back to this argument.
Okay.
See Cast Co-op 2 or 3 for that one. 2 or 3 for that one. I also regretted Battlefront 2 at the time. Love that game now.
Battlefront 2.
Testament to games growing and getting fixed, No,
my mind went to Bad Company 2, and I was about to wonder what the hell was happening.
Dude,
that was such a fun game.
Yeah,
it's so good. Snipers were so broken. It's great.
I remember 1943. I liked Battlefield 1943. Remember that downloadable Xbox? I loved that game. That was cool.
Yeah,
so good.
Famous Seamus wrote in and asked, "What's the biggest revelation to come out of the Apple versus Epic lawsuit so far?" For me, the biggest revelation is that these companies don't care about me. Apparently, they want my money, and I'm shocked. I honestly thought PlayStation was fighting for me in crossplay to keep me safe. I really thought Xbox wanted me to be happy.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, really, the biggest thing is that no one seems to know what's going on, and that it's very poorly run, and clearly the law is not ready for the level at which these companies are operating at. And I don't have a degree to go beyond that, other than to look like this is a clusterfuck. And I don't like that I said that on the channel.
Oh, sorry, I've already cursed multiple times, so sorry to the listeners. I don't think it's a revelation that these companies are.
Look at him; he's so disturbed because he said the F word. What a fucking loser!
Are you serious? I thought you were joking. You're actually upset?
He's like, a student may watch, and they may be. My one student may be 1 hour and 24 minutes into this podcast.
I forgot
that is why I'm upset.
Sorry about that. Sorry, student. Sorry, Joseph.
He's a poor influence.
You just try standing it.
I wouldn't have cursed if not for Mr. Luke Lore. Mr. Lore, as you know him.
Shut up. You're killing me.
What was I going to say?
Little
It shouldn't be
Jimmy,
a
where did you
surprise.
learn this word?
Now
I
you're just
got
going
it
to have
from you.
I hate it here.
It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that
No.
these companies are making billions and billions of dollars, and literally what they're fighting over is who gets the bigger cut of those billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it's
Yeah.
about. I think honestly, and I don't think this is a revelation either. I said that, I think I tweeted to someone like, you can read people, is that the email exchanges that have come out is Tim Sweeney's definitely a geek at heart, in the sense of like, you picture a geek. Like, the way he writes to people is literally how you would expect him to speak at a conference, right? And he expects everyone to know exactly what he's talking about, which is hilarious to me, because I work with engineers who are like that. And then the other is that Phil Spencer is genuinely a nice guy. Like, he's literally trying to do the right thing across, all these massive discussions that impact tens of millions of people. And they're like, oh, look at that. This is a private email. And then, Phil's like, yeah, I'd really like to do the best for our fans. And people are surprised. It's like, you can just tell he's that kind of guy. Like, I don't find that a surprise. If that was, who was the old CEO? Steve Ballmer. If those were Steve Ballmer's emails, they wouldn't read that way. I promise you, So I don't know.
History I want.
I honestly, the biggest, not biggest, but one of the things I found interesting that came out of this. Did you see the game release schedule that came out?
A lot of redacted.
Yeah, and how like it listed out all these games, and the lines were about that thick, and then for Xbox, it had like this much that was redacted that they can't show, and I'm like, all right, so these rumors that we've all been hearing about are probably true. They've got an awful lot of games coming that they haven't announced or they don't want people to know about yet, which I found interesting.
The question is, at what caliber are those games existing?
Yeah, of course.
It's
probably a mix,
also,
right?
Yeah,
could be.
Is PlayStation dead because they don't have a big list?
Makes PlayStation's getting paid.
Is bigger, Joe.
Oh shit! I'm gonna make a YouTube video with this expression.
I love that PlayStation's getting paid to let crossplay exist and get the most money for their company. Their company that finances games like God of War 2 and such. And like, they're not your friend. They never were.
No. Even like Gio Corsi. Oh, he wears hockey shirts. He has a Vita. Look at him. He's so cool. And then literally he's like, yeah, you're telling me how great this is for the players, but you're not telling it how great it is for us. It's like, like that's some suit and tie, blonde hair, blue eyes, if I've ever seen it type of decision making. What the hell?
Why is it got to be blue eyes, man? I know that we've ruined so many parts of the world over the years, but
exactly. So
we've
you guys
also
get
done
to see
good things. Damn it, many good things.
I bet. Which one? I'll give you a minute. So yeah, like honest to goodness, like it's no surprise none of these people really have your best interests at heart. And even like Phil Spencer's email really did read like, please don't get us involved in this.
It really did. It really did.
Oh,
hey, I know you're gonna go fight the bully, and two bullies are gonna fight in the yard. I want to do my homework over here. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. But there are companies. I mean, it's always about the bottom line. Don't get me wrong, right? Like I do want to caveat it a little bit because there definitely are like, and I will say this: if you look at what Xbox has done, forget about Game Pass, forget about the profits, the billions, and everything.
Yeah,
things like FPS boost, like we're talking about, auto HDR, the backwards compatibility layer, which is phenomenal on the Xbox side, right? Mm-hmm. Those cost a lot of money to develop, a lot of money. And sure, there's probably a line item on a spreadsheet somewhere that says this will contribute to our player retention by 9%, which will give us this amount of money, right? I can promise you that doesn't outweigh the negative. That whole backwards compatibility is in the red, 100%. But they still did it. Now, of course, you can argue that, well, Microsoft's got a hell of a lot more resources than most any other company to do things like that, but they still did it. So
they didn't need to prioritize it, but they did.
Correct, right? And I think so. It's unfair to say 100% of the time it's always about the bottom line. That's not true. But at the end of the day, these are big corporations. They are where they are for a reason. They're making the money that we talked about earlier for a reason. And it's not because they're your best friend and want to take you on a date.
What you don't think I have a shot with Nintendo?
I think you got a shot with Jim Ryan, and he will eat you.
The one thing that I did find funny, and I think a lot of people did, that I think the biggest surprise is like Tim Cook did not know who what's his face was.
Tim Sweeney.
Tim Sweeney. He did not know who Tim Sweeney was. He's like, dude, he was on your presentation stage like 2 years ago showing like Unreal on an iPhone. And he's like, it's definitely that Star-Lord like meme. Like, who? Like,
he is. He was like, is this the
Sweeney,
dude
man.
that showed up at one of our auditions? Like, the disrespect was like, holy shit.
Like, no, I'm also a millionaire, fool. Billionaire.
I was going to say, Tim Cook's well beyond a millionaire.
Yeah, fair. Before we get to...
You know what he could do with some of that money? Fix
that?
their goddamn Podcast Connect. That's what they could do with some of that money.
That's so true.
We should have opened this
Sucks.
hour and a half, 90 minutes in, where we should have opened with, hey, we're on iTunes now.
All right, hey guys.
Anyone still listening, you can find us on iTunes.
We're on iTunes. Yeah, absolutely. Gents, we should address some of the comments from episode 3. And so I've got a few of them in front of me at the moment. And we like to do this, by the way, guys. If you have comments on any episode of ours, we always poke through and take a look at different games or comments to those games that people are calling out. A lot of people, Ains voicing support for Red Dead Redemption 2. JW saying that it's a masterpiece.
He is correct. Thank you, JW.
And then but it's weird because the response from Seasoned Gaming said, we agree.
Yeah.
We?
Yeah.
Like the royal we?
No, like, Seasoned Gaming represents seasoned gamers. So men of culture, men who have been gaming a long time, men who understand what makes a good game versus what makes a poor game. And so, that's a collective we. You guys don't have to join. It's fine.
Look at that. Blonde hair, blue eyes, making decisions for the rest of us.
Did you say blonde hair?
We established that he was bald like several days ago.
No, but like when he had it, we could assume it was blonde.
Let's see. Kevin Butler, who's Joe and I's good friend, said
You can skip it.
Order some of the best games he's ever played: God of War 2018, Mass Effect 2, Halo 2, BioShock, and Knights of the Old Republic.
Those are solid. You can't fault him for any of those picks.
Yeah, those are good picks for sure. Yellow Devil writes in with Dark Souls, Fallout New Vegas, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain as his top 5 games. Real talk, I did not give, in that discussion that we had last week, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain enough credit, because as a game, fantastic game. Just such a good game. Such a good game. The stealth alone. I don't have your screen up right now, Ains, but I can hear the descent. Victor Peterson took issue with my takes for disliking The Last of Us 2. Victor, you're wrong. So here we are.
Victor's a good dude. Shout out to Victor. What's up,
I
man?
did respond to him, zero offense taking, because he was being polite and disagreeing with me. Hamad says that his first Zelda game was Breath of the Wild, so he doesn't have any bias, but he also really liked and played Witcher and Horizon Zero Dawn. But he thinks Breath of the Wild is way better and shits on all of them in every way.
Wow.
Witcher was so boring he couldn't play past 10 hours.
Wow, I didn't realize that we allowed 8-year-olds to watch the show, but that's cool.
That's right. Well, now we know he's been banned.
It's like, well, he's out. There we go.
No, I don't think he's alone, right? I mean, there's plenty of people that adore Breath of the Wild.
And more people than live in the Midwest for Central Time.
We're gonna come get you. Do you realize the people I'm surrounded by out here? They were already in DC. They'll just come straight south to you.
We'll do this dance again.
Oh gosh, Ains just set up the sequel. Here we are.
and it was traced back to a podcast. That's all I'm just hearing the Dateline announcer in my head.
Breaking news.
Documentary on HBO Max in a few years.
That's fine. Put it up, man. Our hits are going through the roof.
Yeah, here we are. Gentlemen, I think that's a good place to wrap for this episode. I enjoyed the discussions, save for the Harris Teeter part, in which I was lambasted for my choice of grocery store.
7 states, guys. This is a global operation.
On the off chance anybody that works at Harris Teeter is listening to this,
we love you. Your stores are awesome.
love you. I love your stores. You guys are great. Fairlife is too expensive.
I prefer Trader Joe's.
It's not the same type of store. All right. Gentlemen, please let us know. Let's begin with Ains, Mr. Porsche Power. Would you let us know any upcoming projects you have for people to look forward to, or any recently released ones? I know you have a big one of sorts. And if you could let people know where to find you on socials.
Yeah. No, thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, it's always a laugh. Ains, you can look me up. There's like 4 of us in the world. So there's more of us than Harris Teeters. So you'll be able to find me pretty quick. A lot of stuff going on in Season Gaming. On our channel, you can find videos, all the collectibles we talked about, right? Just checking those out, giving you a quick look at them. We've got a big show this week on the Big Cast. So join us every Saturday at noon for that, noon central for that.
You gotta Google what time that actually is.
That and Mountain Time is an enigma.
Mountain Time's an enigma. No one lives out there. You got me all off track, damn it.
It's like, is it one mountain? Is like, that's what I'm picturing. It's one, like, the
That's
Mordor.
What this show is. This is beautiful disaster.
Yeah, I love it.
I did review Returnal. That review is up. Yes, I did finish it before reviewing it, unlike some people in this industry. I won't name names. And I am also reviewing Village, so stay tuned for that.
Do you plan on beating it before your review?
Maybe. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
You get 2/3 of the way in.
For God's sakes, disclose if you get a code.
Yeah, maybe I'll put like 9 hours into it and then talk about the end game mechanics, because that's what brilliant writers do apparently. Anyway,
I don't even know who you're talking about, but that's a good gig.
I like this heat. Gig. I don't know who we're talking about.
I'm just fed up.
Let me gas from Game On Daily. Sauce.
We create good content.
Sure.
Genuinely good
not us, to be clear. He's talking
not
about
Cast Co-op. This show is terrible. Anyone, the 4 people still listening, please find something better to listen to. But what I'm talking about is we put a lot of heart and soul into good content. And it drives me crazy seeing people with huge audiences just disregard what I would call general responsibilities. And that's all I'm going to say on it. I'm done.
Wow. So that helped no one understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is pointing
out.
Search
Returnal reviews. Okay. Search any reviews while you're at it. Cyberpunk reviews are a great one. Go for it.
Mr. Badbit, where can we find you, and what are you working on? Did you do anything big recently?
No, dude. So here's the deal. Sometimes we like to reach out to smaller creators. It's just what we do. So this week on the Trophy Room, we had a indie creator by the name of Greg Miller come on the show. He does this little show called Kind of Funny Games Daily and play PS I Love You. And I was just like, you know what? It's nice. It's cute that you have our idea of the show. Let's bring it on. Let's.
You try to help him gain some exposure, right?
Yeah, he needs it. Bless his heart. The guy tries. And so, we had him on. It was a really great time. Very nervous time for me, but it was a great show. So definitely check that out. We talk about PlayStation making the most money, selling the most games it ever has. We talk about the paying for crossplay, and then Kyle and I gush over Returnal for a good 20 minutes. So go ahead, check that out. It's a whole bunch of fun times over there on the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast.
I didn't know you said Trophy Room. I was thinking I was going to ask you what sport you guys talk about, but it's cool.
God damn it! Please stop! Don't do that.
It's true. If you do Google Trophy Room, it comes up with like this basketball stuff.
Yeah, it does come out, but it makes sense because trophies. You get trophies. It's on PlayStation.
Trophies, like achievements.
Those are like achievements.
I get it. That's
true.
cool, man. That's cool.
Now that you're saying it, it makes more sense.
Now it does make sense now.
All right, well, we found the thing that bothers me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. If you have made it
what
this
a
far,
big cast is, because I don't know.
if you have made it this far into the show, my name is Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost. You can find me hosting the Xbox Expansion Pass weekly. Since we last had Cast Co-op, I had Rama Ismail on, and Remy talked about some incredible things about indie developers around the world. And I also recently interviewed Limited Run Games, the makers of that fancy helmet that Ains is wearing to the drive-thru from time to time. So that's kind of cool as well. And that story got a bit of traction, by the way. And Seasoned Gaming was the first one to break it. You can imagine how he found out as it goes. Go figure.
And go figure. Unlike some sites, I actually credited you. Go figure.
Yes, I appreciate that, because I was seeing all this news from my interview and nobody's got a link in there. And I was like, all right, I see you.
You should have called him out. You should have did what Jez did a few weeks ago.
I thought about it, but the indie devs or creators like me would get crucified.
Hey guys, I put a random link to a Kotaku article in here. Maybe you guys want to check that out.
I don't click Kotaku links. Do I have to?
No, I thought that would troll you.
Oh, troll me?
Trying to see. Yeah. I don't even know what this is. But every time I mention Kotaku, your eyes roll to the back of your head.
I can't stand them. I have them blocked.
Yeah. Oh, really?
What is this?
I don't know.
Why are there like 9 billion ads? I can't even see the article.
Joe, get us out of here.
Smokey the Bear. Keep casting that co-op. Hate my life. Please stand up yet.
It's terrible today.
I don't know, man. I had a ton of fun on this episode.
This is a good one. I'm having fun.